Have you ever heard whispers of a city paved with gold, a land of unimaginable riches? Today, we're diving deep into the legendary story of Eldorado, a myth that fueled centuries of exploration. But what if I told you the real Eldorado was far more complex and fascinating than you ever imagined? Forget the shimmering cities. The truth is embedded in ancient rituals and desperate quests. I'm your guide, and I've spent years uncovering the fascinating threads of this enduring legend. Prepare to journey with me as we separate fact from fiction, myth from reality. About Eldorado, we'll explore the stunning origins in South America long before European explorers arrived. Then, we'll unpack how a simple ceremony transformed into the extravagant city of gold we know today. And finally, you'll learn the surprising ways Eldorado continues to influence our world. Trust me, what you think you know about Eldorado is just the tip of a golden iceberg. Let's start where the real story begins. High in the lush mountains of present-day Colombia. Centuries ago, before the Spanish conquistadors set foot in the Americas, the Muisca people thrived. They inhabited the Andean highlands, a region abundant in resources, including gold. For the Muisca, gold was not about currency, but a sacred material, tied to their gods and rituals. One ritual, in particular, held the seed of what would blossom into the Eldorado legend. This ritual revolved around their new chieftain, initiated at the sacred lake Guatavita. Imagine this: a new leader, covered in gold dust, on a raft laden with treasures. He was paddled to the lake's center to offer gold and emeralds to the water gods. This breathtaking ceremony was the true origin of the quote-unquote gilded man, Eldorado in Spanish. Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, hearing tales of immense riches. Initially, they focused on the Inca and Aztec empires, already famed for their gold. But whispers of a gilded man and endless gold eventually reached their ears. These conquistadors, driven by greed and the lure of unparalleled wealth, turned their gaze to Colombia. Gonzalo Jiménez de Quesada led the first major Spanish expedition into Muisca territory in 1537. They conquered the Muisca, seizing impressive amounts of gold and emeralds. However, the conquistadors had arrived after the Muisca civilization had peaked. Much of the accumulated gold had already been used or hidden, likely from previous conflicts. The Spanish, while finding wealth, felt they had only scratched the surface of something greater. Lake Guatavita itself became a target, seen as the legendary source of Muisca gold. Numerous attempts were made to drain the lake, motivated by the tales of sunken treasure. These early attempts yielded some gold artifacts, further fueling the Eldorado myth. But here's where the legend transforms. Eldorado shifted from a man to a place. The gilded man morphed into a fantastical city, kingdom, or even an entire empire made of gold. This shift was driven by European desires and misunderstandings of indigenous cultures. The idea of Eldorado became a potent symbol of boundless wealth and untapped potential. This wasn't just about gold anymore. It was about the ultimate prize for ambitious adventurers. Think about it. A city literally constructed from gold. More wealth than anyone could fathom. This fantastical Eldorado fired the imaginations of explorers for centuries to come. The 16th and 17th centuries saw countless expeditions launched in search of Eldorado. These quests spanned vast areas of South America, from the Amazon basin to the Guyana highlands. Famous figures like Sir Walter Raleigh dedicated years and fortunes chasing this elusive dream. Raleigh's expeditions into Guyana were explicitly driven by the promise of Eldorado. He wrote extensively about a magnificent city called Manoa, situated near a vast lake. Raleigh's accounts, though embellished, inspired further waves of expeditions. Pedro Sarmiento de Gamboa, another explorer, searched for Eldorado in the Amazon. These expeditions were not just about exploration. They were often brutal and destructive. Indigenous populations suffered immensely under the pressure of these gold-crazed searches. Imagine the environmental impact: frantic digging, river diversions, all for a mythical city. Despite the hardships, the expeditions yielded crucial geographical discoveries. Explorers mapped vast regions of South America, albeit driven by a false premise. They navigated the Amazon, Orinoco, and other major river systems, expanding European knowledge. But Eldorado itself remained perpetually out of reach, always just beyond the horizon. As time passed, skepticism about a literal city of gold grew in Europe. By the 18th century, the idea of Eldorado as a physical location began to fade. However, the myth's underlying power did not diminish. It simply transformed again. Eldorado evolved into a metaphor, representing any unattainable treasure or dream. It became synonymous with a place of ultimate happiness, success, or fulfillment, however you define it. Think of Silicon Valley as a modern Eldorado, promising tech riches and innovation. Or the film industry in Hollywood, a land of dreams where fame and fortune supposedly await. Even today, we use Eldorado to describe that elusive somewhere where everything is perfect. The enduring appeal of Eldorado speaks to fundamental aspects of human nature. It reflects our innate desires for wealth, adventure, and the pursuit of seemingly impossible goals. The myth taps into our hope for a better future, a paradise just waiting to be discovered. But is the real treasure the destination or the journey itself? Think about that for a moment. Consider the legacy of Eldorado on cartography. Maps were redrawn based on these searches. Exploration itself was catalyzed, pushing boundaries of geographical understanding, even for a myth. The concept of Eldorado, though fictionalized, fueled real-world consequences and discoveries. It reminds us that myths, even when false, can exert immense influence on history. Eldorado reveals how human desires can shape our actions and perceptions of the world. It's a cautionary tale about greed, but also a testament to human ambition and resilience. So, have we totally debunked the myth? Perhaps, but its essence remains potent. The name Eldorado still evokes a sense of wonder, mystery, and the allure of hidden riches. Next time you hear Eldorado, remember the Muisca ritual, the lake, and the Gilded Man. Remember the explorers, the dreams, and the harsh realities of their quests. Eldorado isn't just a place. It's a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest desires and aspirations. And maybe, just maybe, the real Eldorado is not a city of gold, but the pursuit of our own dreams. What Eldorado are you chasing in your life right now? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this journey into the heart of the Eldorado myth fascinating, hit that like button. Share this video with anyone who loves history, legends, or just a good story of adventure. And to explore more captivating historical mysteries, don't forget to subscribe. We have many more untold stories waiting to be unearthed, just like Eldorado itself. Thanks for joining me on this golden adventure, and I'll see you in the next video.